Have you ever stopped and wondered what really makes a country tick? Beyond the maps and the flags, what are the deep down forces that build a nation and keep it from falling apart? Well, today we're diving into the two pillars that hold the entire thing up. So let's just get right to it. What is it that holds a country together? Is it just a bunch of laws, a powerful army, a shared history? Yeah, all those things definitely play a part. But the real answer, the core of it all, is actually way more elegant. It really just rests on two fundamental ideas. And here they are. At its heart, a nation is held together by two massive pillars. First, a shared sense of identity. That's the collective answer to the question, who are we? And second, a shared economic system, which answers, how do we all prosper together? You can kind of think of them as a nation's soul and its engine. All right, let's tackle that first pillar, identity. Because before a society can figure out how to make money or what laws to write, it's got to have a collective sense of self. This is the identity glue that creates the we in the first place. Now, this identity isn't just one thing. It comes in a couple of flavors. First up, you've got ethnic identity. This is that deep cultural stuff. The language your family speaks, the holidays and traditions you grew up with, maybe a shared ancestry going way back. It's usually something you're born into, not something you just pick up. And then you have national identity. Now, this is different. It's a political identity, and it's tied directly to the state itself. We're talking about citizenship, having a passport, respecting the same flag, and agreeing to live by the same set of laws. This is something you can actually acquire. So let's put them side by side to make it super clear. Ethnic identity is all about culture. It's usually something you're born with. National identity, though, is political. It's based on the state, and you can become a part of it. This, by the way, is why one single country can have tons of different ethnic groups who all share the very same national identity. And make no mistake, this identity glue is an incredibly powerful force. It's reinforced everywhere, in our history books, our national holidays, you name it. Political leaders tap into it all the time to get legitimacy, and it has a huge impact on how we think about politics. But here's the really crucial part. This exact same force can be an amazing source of unity, or it can be the trigger for absolutely devastating conflict. Okay, so a nation has a sense of we. The next logical question is, well, how do we live? How do we work together and build a prosperous life? And that brings us right to our second pillar, the economic engine. Think about it. How do you design a system for millions of people to live and work with each other? This whole setup is what's called a country's political economy. It's the blueprint for how a nation produces things, how it distributes wealth, and how big a role the government plays in it all. It's literally the spot where politics and money slam into each other. And as you can see, nations have chosen wildly different blueprints for this. Take liberal systems, like in the US. They bet big on high market freedom because their main goal is individual liberty. Then you have social democracies, think Scandinavia, where they're okay with a little less market freedom if it means a stronger welfare state, because they prioritize social equality. And of course, you've got extremes like communism, where the state controls everything, or mercantilism, which basically uses the economy as a tool to become more powerful on the world stage. Okay, so we've got our two pillars, the identity glue and the economic engine. But here's the thing, they don't just exist in separate boxes. The real secret to understanding a country is seeing how they connect, how they influence each other. This is where the whole picture finally comes together. And this is the most important part of the whole explainer. These two pillars are not independent at all. They are deeply, deeply intertwined. The values and beliefs that make up a nation's identity, that fundamental sense of who we are, has a direct and really powerful influence on the kind of economic engine it chooses to build. And you can see exactly how this works in the real world. If a country's identity is built around a story of, say, rugged individualism and personal freedom, it's almost naturally going to lean toward a liberal, free market economy to match those values. But if its identity is rooted more in community, solidarity, and collective well-being, it's way more likely to build a social democracy. It's simple, really. Identity provides the values, and the economy is the system they build to put those values into practice. So when it all comes down to it, here's the ultimate takeaway. If you really want to understand any country, it doesn't matter if you're looking at its foreign policy or its internal politics, you can't just look at its GDP or its history by themselves. You have to look at both pillars together. Who they believe they are, and the economic engine they've built to reflect that belief. And that leaves us with a pretty critical question for our time, doesn't it? As the world is grappling with these massive economic divides and really intense debates over national identity, you have to wonder, are these pillars starting to crack? Can the systems that pretty much defined the 20th century actually hold strong? Or are we about to watch something entirely new get built? Definitely something to think about.